the Dracotails get to go first, being able to set up the ability of their trap cards it just gives you another layer of defense.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas if you're going second, those trap cards, like they're 2 cards you want to set, and it's going to be a little bit awesome. It looks like Joe has won the dice roll. He has started off with, I would probably say, is one of the better starters in this one, being the engage, because not only does engage tempt your opponent maybe by a droll, maybe by an Ash Blossom if they're being made, but it also then just kind of checks your opponent a little bit more. So you've got the option to open up to Obedience School if you want to go down the route, which looks like exactly what Joe's got. Jay's got Obedience School, engage, and engage has worked its way into Hornet Drones. This is kind of looking like a dream opening for Joe right here.
Yeah, I'm a little bit jealous. I wish I had that kind of opening hand. But it seems like, Joe's got the Obedience School here, which really is the best way to start your play, right? Just being able to get the 3 different yummy monsters straight out of the deck. And then also, it's quite resilient, right? You're not really committing anything besides this one simple card.
Ooh, it looks like Alex is definitely trading it off of an Ash Blossom, which I do find quite interesting here, because I think it also tells a lot. And what I mean by that is, when you're activating Obedience Schooled, you kind of put yourself in a position where you can't create Herald of the Arc Light.
Yep.
And when you can't create Herald of the Arc Light, which is incredibly good against Dracotails because all of their materials get banished, it also then means you're protected from Nibiru.
Yes.
With Alex choosing to Ash Blossom the Obedience Schooled, not only does it shut off the resource access, of course, but it also then means that Alex probably doesn't have a Nibiru, because I feel that you would let Obedience School resolve, let them build up as much as possible, and then go, here's a Nibiru for all the troubles.
Guarantee they don't have that Herald of the Arc Light play. I think you're correct there as well, especially just like looking at this. I think Jahan's pretty good as well, to be fair. But especially just when you're not limited into that play, or being limited out of, or into, sorry, just the beasts. He's still got a lot that can go on here. And we're seeing Joe commit monsters to the field here, and he's going to start going into a synchro place here. Do you think maybe you should just go with the engage only play, or do you think it's okay to commit here?
No, I think you're kind of okay to commit here. I feel that Joe still hasn't conducted his normal summon, which is quite useful for him. So now that he's able to activate and add a cookie and a cupsy, he still has that resource available to him. And it's always very important that if you're able to hold back something as simple and as kind of like core to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! As a normal summon, especially when you have so many normal summon cards like Cupsy, like Cookie, or mainly the Cupsy, to get you into surprise. It just, again, it allows you to gain so much resource that even if a Nibiru is used here, you've still got a surprise to rebuild and go again, which it looks like Alex might be considering some form of interaction on this Cupsy Yummy here, as we do know that leads to the surprise, and surprise...
it's the best card in the deck, from my personal opinion. I really like the Veiler here from Alex Moffat here, because I think, really for me, if your opponent's a little bit starved off the surprise, I think you can actually combat the deck quite efficiently. But when that surprise is anywhere within the rotation, they can always get it back with the Onari towards the end of the turn as well. But I think, that the surprise for me is the best card in the deck. And for me, again, I want to play 3 of it. I think it might be a little bit egregious here, but I think anytime I see that yummy surprise anywhere in my opening hand, I feel so much more insulated, both going first and second as well.
Yeah, I think it's a very core component of the deck. It looks like we're going to be working our way into the field spells on this one with Joe. What you kind of have to take into account is that Joe still has 2 unknown cards in the hand. Now, from what we can see, it looks like it is a Chummy of choice, whether it be Perulia or Fuelos, plus an Ash Blossom. The Ash Blossom is a very fair trade with Alex for the Rahu Dragontail, if that gets used, or even Ketu, because Ketu's just as amazing on this one here. Joe is still trying to present his field. Again, I feel that he might have read that Alex maybe does not have a Nibiru. If he does, then it's just going to be another layer of disruption. But I feel it's now important for Joe to work his way into a Herald of the Arc Light, because I feel the Herald is going to be a big difference maker here, as it then puts the pressure back on Alex to try and deal with that Herald first before attempting to use Rahu or even using the Ketu. Less so the Ketu, because it doesn't send from the deck, but it will fuse from the hand. And losing that type of resource and the ability to set your cards of your Ketu or your Rahu is going to be very, very damaging.
No, I definitely agree here. And especially just here, you're seeing this Arc Light, just as you said, it's the core component of this matchup, I would say. I think if I'm in Joe's situation as well, there's a lot of times I don't even want to try and negate. I just want to leave it there, leave it as that disruption, meaning everything gets removed from play instead of hitting the graveyard, where it's going to get those really pivotal effects, just as you said. And again, I think this end field is quite good as well. He's going to commit an extra yummy monster here just to kind of improve the layers of disruption here that's going into Alex's turn. But as you said, it looks like There's no back row here, which is really good.
Yeah. So
Surprise is not there.
Exactly. no surprise.
No surprise.
Pun intended. For Alex to worry about there. There is one card unknown in his hand. That card is going to be, well, we know it's an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Alex does not know that. But even then, what really benefits Herald and what makes it so incredibly good in this particular kind of matchup is the fact that Joe doesn't even need to use his Ash Blossom on a Rahu or a Ketu because of that resource loss that Alex would go through with Herald on the field. It really does make it very, very tricky. And now starting off with the Lucias to utilize this effect, again, I don't feel that there's any real threat
right
to Joe's
now, right?
field. Yeah, exactly.
So it looks like he is going to stop making a play here. Again, in my situation, I do very much agree with you. I'm just quite happy to sit back, let it all go. And we're just going to see if something gets a little bit too aggressive and you need to make the play, right? How I view the Yummy deck specifically, it's quite reactive, I would say, when it comes to these turns. Obviously, all of the Yummy synchros are taking out there. We're going to see this destroy as well, being Gamma, Delta. So maybe we'll just see if Joe's put those in going second into this matchup as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'd highly expect these to go in for Joe. I feel that, again, it's also quite a very interesting one. Ketu, this is the question, he's going to Ash the Ketu. That's quite interesting because, don't get me wrong, Ketu, great card to start with, but more players usually try to keep the Ash for the Rahu because the Rahu is what's going to guarantee you a fusion play, as Alex just had to pass.
Oh,
painful.
Very painful here. So,
I mean, I said Yummies.
Joe with the school straight away as well.
I said Yummies aren't that good going second, but if they haven't got to play into any field whatsoever, it doesn't matter.
You're going first for a battle phase now. He's, the ability schooled especially. As we just said at the last game, Alex chose to Ash Blossom it, so I guess instinctively, might not be an Ash Blossom here, but you're very, very able to just try and start building towards that game shot, right?
I feel the one thing I would be doing with Joe on this one is I would probably be a little bit more respectful of Nibiru.
100%.
The pure fact that Alex had to pass, still with 4 cards in action, he has an Astro Obedience schooled, you're now on 4 summons. The Nibiru could be a bit of a problem here, depending on what we go for in order to try and mitigate that. And I feel that if Joe chooses his pass correctly, he will be able to mitigate how effective a Nibiru will be here right now.
Yeah, so he's decided to commit to the minion right now as well. And it's just double checking out. I'd assume the synchro summon requirements to activate the ability there. But yeah, so we're going to see the 5th summon here. I guess if you have Nibiru, do you Nibiru here? I think maybe there's a chance.
You can hold it. I can't think of a point where, from this point on, now that you know they can't get to Herald, I don't think there's a position where
true, actually,
they put anything on the field that you're like, oh, I need some Nibiru now or pass. I feel that you can allow them to move.
Okay.
Oh, he's just scooped up.
Just up.
That's such a shame. 2 go spells.